House Power Hour coming to you live from Manhattan. Of course, as we do every Saturday
Woohoo!
night, is on. We're on. We're live and nationwide.
Yay!
417
Hooray! Doodly doo
How do you get on there inside
doo.
chat? Also, of
Yeah.
course, chat. Go to the chat.
Oh yeah, you can join us in the chat
StubbyNetRadio.com.
room.
Go down the bottom of the page and on the right hand side of the bottom of the page. There's a link to the chat. So click that. Join us there.
And
We got Roaring Girl, of course, with us tonight, as we do every Saturday
but
night.
of course,
And I guess the big thing was
correspondence dinner
the
tonight. Yeah, it was. It
the
was.
dinner tonight. What do they call
There
that?
was some awesome moments in there, and uh, there were definitely some heads exploding over the fact that a black guy was ripping assholes
Ah, okay.
for a predominantly white
Yeah.
audience, and Larry Wilmore went after CNN for MSNBC for getting rid of all the black correspondents.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure of that.
Went after CNN. He made comments about Wolf Blitzer's audiences that they're dead.
Yeah.
Don Lemon flipped him off after Wilmore called him an alleged journalist. So obviously he was doing something right.
Yeah.
To the
No doubt. What do they call this? The
Twitter was sort of
correspondence
mixed.
dinner or
Some
something?
like I was like, see, this is why I got to vote for Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Don Trump Jr. was not really happy over the president drubbing his daddy.
Yeah. I'm sure of that. But of course, Obama doesn't care at this point.
Well, I was looking. Well, we were like looking at Twitter. Let me see if Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
Well, 3 hours ago, Donald Trump wasn't on. Or if he was on Twitter, if he was watching, he wasn't responding.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Oh yeah, he's just like totally ignored the correspondence dinner. Not a comment.
Okay. Well, I don't know. He's got about 8 months left to go, Obama, before he hands it over to Hillary or whoever. So
Well, Hillary.
I think
But
he could. I think he could just coast out at this point. I don't think he really has to do many things, to bulk up his legacy or whatever. I would just coast out on a victory tour.
well, no, he wants to get
Uh,
Garland, seated.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that would be yeah. Exactly. There's one thing he can do. That's yeah. Other than that, I think I just fade out into the sunset and call it a presidency, I guess. Because I mean, once he gets that done, that's pretty much all he needs to do, really.
Yeah, it was.
Assuming no more on the SCOTUS, kicks the bucket. He
Yeah.
can just just kind of cruise out, hit some of the late night talk shows, and kind of that kind of thing. I think that's what I would do. I think just kind of do that and flip everybody off essentially
Well, one
on
of
the
the things that
right.
was really awesome, and again, people thought it was like, how dare he do that? The president did a mic drop at the very end of his speech.
Oh, he did
Yes, he just,
tonight. You mean?
yeah, it's awesome.
Okay.
Just like, boom, the mic went out. He
Yeah.
just dropped it. It was beautiful.
Thank you and good night kind of thing, or is that it?
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Well, he did the two fingers to the mouth, to the lips, and then dropped, which to me
Yeah.
more or less felt "fuck you, I'm out of here." Which to me is what it was saying, but it was
Yeah.
definitely a night when I think a lot of white people realized that America has really and truly changed.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of like I said, it was an I mean, I think a lot of people who were cringing over Larry Wilmore's jokes, they weren't funny, but they were incisive. And somebody said, "Well, it's not a comedian's
Right.
job to like." "Brr." Um,
We lost Run Girl, did we?
no, I'm
No.
here. I'm
Okay.
here, just looking for something.
Okay. Well, the way Skype works, you never know. It's
Well, no, I'll just keep talking when it drops because that's what I always do.
all right. Okay.
But
Yeah, pretty good. Anytime you can get those events in, you got to get them in, and then like this is the
yeah,
last.
they're calling one company is calling it offensive, Well,
Huh?
yeah, it's like it was a
Okay.
black guy like yelling out, making fun of white people. That's the whole thing about comedy is that it's about status.
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot of it. Yeah. Without a doubt.
well, this is what they're saying. It crossed every line of polite society. Read white society.
Oh, why not? Why not do
Let's
that?
see. This is from a site called The Takedown, and they say he went too far. He should be fired, which meant he really ruffled a lot of white feathers. He just really. And so we lost our the other end of this call, but we'll keep going. So I was saying, for those of you listening on Spreaker, Larry Wilmore just offended a lot of white people at the correspondence dinner, and others saying he should be fired from the nightly show. It's like, what the fuck, you know? Uh, how dare, how dare a comedian make fun of people? You know. Oh look. Well, you're
Greetings.
back. It's on your end, my dear, not me.
All right. Okay. I don't
You're the one that drops the calls, not me.
know.
So anyway, the
I don't touch
takedown,
nothing.
the takedown was just very offended by the fact that Larry Wilmore, just dissed Don Lemon and all of the brave journalists.
Right.
Excuse me. The only journalists to me that are brave are the ones that are on the fucking front lines, actually risking their lives, getting killed or injured. Not sitting in some little fucking studio or
Yeah.
standing. Yeah, Lemon was there in Ferguson, but he was not risking anything.
Right.
Let's send the black guy out to talk about the safe black guy. Sort of like, let's send the safe Jew out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Same kind of thing. But if you're out there, why not take advantage of it? I mean, because you don't get these opportunities that often where you got a national audience, and you could kick a little butt out there on the
But how dare a comedian make fun of people? They want this whomever these people are want Wilmore
yeah, they
fired
want to.
because he was like making fun of journalists.
Right.
You know, I
They
can
want the
guarantee
light
that if we
version.
have a Trump presidency or even a Cruz presidency, journalists will
Yeah.
be fired. If they have a
Right.
White House Correspondents' Dinner, there will be no jokes about Trump because Trump doesn't have a sense of
Exactly.
humor.
No, there wouldn't be any Trump jokes on that event. No question about
And if
that.
there were, you would never see that person would be taken out and curb stomped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking
You'll
of
like to
curb
see that
stomped,
guy.
Trump got endorsed by another Grand Wizard.
Ah. Okay. Why not?
And on Twitter, Larry Wilmore
Yeah.
is trending. Oh yeah, and he kept referring to Ted using the internet meme about Ted Cruz being the Zodiac killer. Little
Uh,
overkill on that, but it was funny.
I
So
think it's
now,
pretty good.
but
Yeah.
you see, but he just did what everybody else, what just now everybody thinks about Ted Cruz who didn't know about the Zodiac killer meme. You're like, is Ted Cruz the Zodiac killer? They will automatically think Ted Cruz Zodiac killer,
Right. Right.
not Lion Ted, but Zodiac.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't know they
I
even
think
messed
what the
with
other
that, but
reason why they were all pissed off is that he did not do any Trump jokes.
could be.
He did not light into Donald Trump.
And we all like to see that, of course.
And also the whole thing is that writer for GQ is still receiving death threats and other lovely images about her being gassed and stuff, shit like that, because she had the gall as a Jew to write about Melania, a nice article about Melania Trump.
Ah,
Guess what, Melania? You're going to have to get used to being in the public eye because your husband decided he wanted to put you there.
apparently. Yeah.
Well, she is apparently a very private person, and she did not want him running.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Because she will have to basically bury herself inside the White House for the next
No,
4 years.
no, 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 no. You don't understand. because of his being in the spotlight, she is now in the spotlight.
Right.
And
Right.
she does not like being in the spotlight.
She'll be living in the family quarters there in the White House for the next 4 years. She
She
won't even
doesn't.
get out
Oh,
of there.
it doesn't matter. She's
Take
going to
that
be in
for
the
room
White.
service.
No, she's not going to be in the White House. Um, little Donnie Trump,
Yeah.
he sent his surrogate.
Having all kinds of issues, Skype issues tonight. Okay. Let me see what we can do here. Yeah, okay, it's still going out. Okay, we're good. I just think she's going to probably hibernate inside the White House for the next 4 years, and then maybe decide to, leave or something. I don't know, maybe divorce or something. That's all.
See, that's the whole thing is that Lemon gave him the finger, but he was smiling while he was doing it. So he
Hell
was
yeah.
laughing. So it was it
Hell
was
yeah.
it was a good natured. Lemon can take the joke.
Yeah. Uh,
And everybody is just thinking it was like, Michael Ian Black was going, I thought Larry Wilmore did a good job tonight, but I didn't understand any of the jokes about black people. Good for Larry Wilmore for calling
well,
out MSNBC and Morning Joe and blah, for parting ways with Melissa Harris.
indeed. Oh, I missed it. I didn't know it was on. Otherwise, I would have flipped it on tonight just to see what's going on. Because I had actually some time to do that tonight, which is pretty rare. I'm usually at work, but tonight I had the night off. But yeah, it would have been fun to watch that. That's for sure.
This is, I think, one of my favorites. White people are mad at Larry Wilmore right now, and they are. Maybe I'm not as white as I think I am because I really enjoyed, despite some of the cringing I was doing while he was speaking, while he was delivering his pieces. I stayed with it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
He was getting laughter, but it was like the Colbert laughter. It wasn't the
Right.
folks in the front of the house where all the microphones are,
Yeah.
but where all the cameras are. And there were some people there that were just like the looks on their faces were fucking priceless while he was going on.
Yeah. Love it. I love it. Some of the best jokes come from that show, actually. So, I mean, the best jokes you'll hear all year come out of that correspondence dinner, no doubt about it. So you get that because they follow each other around for every freaking day, 365 days a year practically. So, gotta get some humor
Yeah.
just from
I mean,
that.
it was wonderful. You know, it was the same sort of no punches being pulled that Colbert that Wilmore did tonight.
Yeah.
And that's why I loved it. Wilmore just went out there and, just,
Yeah. Colbert a few years back was just man, oh man,
you know, um,
unbelievable. That was 10 years ago.
yeah.
Which
But
doesn't even.
but
It
it's
seemed
that
like it
whole
was
thing
10
that he
minutes
did
ago.
not
Or
play it
10 years.
safe. And Wilmore's got a lot of cred behind him. He was a creator and executive producer for Bernie Mac's show. He's been around TV and writing for an extremely long period of time.
Right.
Let me go to his IMDb.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. No question about that. I check that all the time myself. The IMDb.
So for
Just to
those
see
of you
things
that
change or
that
yeah.
don't know, as a writer, let's see, he was a writer for In Living Color, the Bernie Mac Show, the PJs, The Office,
Right.
TV series Love Bites, uh, uh, Whoopi Goldberg's show, Jamie Foxx,
Been around.
Fresh Prince of Bel Air with writer sister In Living Color, the writer, producer, beside Blackish.
Yes.
For those of you who he did was the executive executive producer for Larry Wilmer's Race, Religion, and Sex in Florida. So
Yeah, been around the
uh,
block once or twice. That's for sure. Yeah, knows
he's
what he's doing.
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
what the type of humor he was running tonight is the type of humor he does best. He did not lighten it up. I mean,
Right,
I
right.
could picture, you know, um, his wife sitting there on the plane looking at his material going, "No, you're not.
Yeah,
No." Much as Colbert's wife, according to the story, he is told that when they were on the train going to DC, she was looking at his material and turning back to him going, "No,
yeah.
you're not. No, you're not."
And he did. He did.
Yeah.
I almost fell over. I got to say, I just found that phenomenal. And of course, George W. just 4 or 5 seats behind him, 4 or 5 rows behind him. Not very far away, probably 10 feet away from him when he was delivering that speech. Man, oh man, it was a knockdown, drag out. That's for sure.
It was just
Don't punch the fold.
and anyone who says that you're not that comedians are not supposed to you know, speak truth to have no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Right, right.
The first and foremost, a good satirist shows that the king has no clothes or wears
Yeah,
no pants.
exactly. Yeah,
And, that's exactly what was going on.
yeah. Too much fun. Way too much fun. I'll have to check it out on YouTube for sure. I encourage everybody else to do the same because it's going to be some great stuff.
And the president, you mentioned Helen Mirren's name, and he goes, "I don't have a joke. Just Helen Mirren. I think she's awesome."
Uh, yeah. She comes from where? Helen.
Dame Helen Mirren.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, okay. Yeah.
What does it? Where is it? Where is it? It's down here somewhere. She's
417-717-1454. How you get on here? That's how you do that. If you want to get on, talk about whatever. But
yeah. I mean, I
thought we
was
started off at least with that because it's good stuff. Always, the annual is always good stuff.
Yeah. Well,
that's
the people
comedy
that
gold,
don't
as
like,
they say.
"Oh, I don't like the show, the nightly Daily Show since Stewart left." Well, you don't like the fact because there's a funny black guy, Jewish black guy, doing. Yes, Trevor Noah is Jewish on his mommy's side. Makes him a Jew. Woohoo!
Yeah.
But it was a fun night. There was some fun shit going on. There was some good fun stuff. But
Awesome.
so
Uh,
yeah, if you want, the replay will be C-SPAN's channel.
oh, there you go. Okay, even better. Yeah. Just flip it over to C-SPAN. You got it. Got it there. I used to watch C-SPAN almost freaking 24/7 back in the 90s, back in the Bubba era.
Yeah, this is what the
But I really
president said
haven't.
about. Yeah, this is what the president
I
said
haven't really
about.
done so since about the year 2000.
Yeah,
I think.
the
I think when I
president.
switched over to yeah, W.
Yeah,
I think when I flipped over to that, I think I just stopped
yeah,
watching it. But it was pretty good during
yeah. And
the Bubba years. No
yeah,
question.
the president said this about Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren is here tonight. I don't even have a joke here. I just think Helen Mirren is awesome.
There you go. Yeah.
And
I'll
she
have to Google it, 'cause
is.
I don't know who the hell she is. I have no idea who the hell she is, so I'll have to Google that and
Oh
find
my
out who she
God,
is.
you don't know who Helen Mirren is? You
Nah, I
poor
don't believe so. No.
deprived child.
Oh,
How
okay.
dare you not know who she is?
I'm not up on too much on my female,
Shame on
uh,
you.
yeah, uh,
Shame for shame.
yeah. So I gotta Google that and see who she is.
And she was on she was a guest on Colbert's on the Late Show. She came on and she lip locked Colbert, and it
Oh,
left
okay.
him speechless.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
It left him speechless. It was a thing of beauty to behold.
What does she do? She does comedy, or she does.
Oh, she can do it all. She's a stage
Yeah,
actress,
okay.
film actress.
Yeah, she does everything. Okay.
She played Elizabeth in the movie The
I'll look her up
Queen.
on IMDb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got to check her out. She's awesome. She was Q,
yeah,
or was that Judi Dench? Was Q? Was M rather in one or two of the James Bond.
right. Good stuff there too. Let me see here. IMDb. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, that's even when you don't have a joke prepared, it's always good to acknowledge who's there. So it's very cool, very good on Obama's part, obviously. Q was Judy Dench,
Yeah,
according to Kazakhstanian.
yeah.
Um, and I'm not much on Judy Dench either. I don't know exactly who she is. I know who she is, but I've never really seen much of her work.
It
Let's see
was
here. Helen.
Mirren, Mirren. Oh yes,
Yeah,
and half of the Daniel Berrigan passed away today, as well.
yeah, I did see that. Yep.
Um,
Oh, yeah, I know who Helen Mirren is. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Okay. I just never knew the name. I didn't connect the name with the actor. Yeah, she's outstanding. Yeah, she's
yeah.
a great actor.
Daniel Berrigan, who was one of the premier anti-Vietnam War activists. He and his brother spent many, many years, a lot of years, actually fighting for civil rights.
Yeah, I wonder
They
what
got to
Helen
speak,
Mirren
and,
was
and
doing.
he got to speak at Occupy Wall Street, but John Lewis didn't. Wonder why.
Yeah,
Yes, Occupy. I'm going there.
yeah. Um, I'm just wondering what Helen Mirren was doing at the correspondence dinner
A lot
today.
of stars show up there.
Okay, all right, yeah. Yeah, she's great, though. I would, yeah, I'd love to have some dinner, some coffee with that actor. She's good. Find out all the behind the scenes stories.
Yes, and like I said, Larry Wilmore got the Google bomb for Ted Cruz. Um,
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
see what we got here. Let's see. Ted Cruz, age wife memes Twitter.
Uh,
I guess that didn't quite happen. Oh well. Darn. Oh. Imagine this. Ted Cruz is leading Donald Trump in Indiana.
wow, how about that? Yeah, I think it's eventually going to be the Donald, but we don't know. Still a ways to go yet, so it's hard to say.
Let's see. Yeah. Donald doesn't like losing, so he's either been cheated or it's
Yeah,
fraud or they're being mean to
I think
me.
something's going on. That's for sure.
Yeah, the Berrigan brothers. I so remember the Berrigan brothers growing up.
Indeed, indeed. Uh, Good stuff. What's we got going on here? Just checking this out. I did see her in that movie Red with
Yeah.
Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis. Not a bad one. Not a bad movie. Kind of formulaic or whatever, but still good stuff. Uh, Mary Louise Parker in that movie as well. So I mean, yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Pretty good cast actually. Morgan Freeman. A good movie, worth running, definitely. And Mirren in that does just a great job
Yeah.
playing a gun wielding, hit person, basically, a lady, whatever. Kind of comedy gold right there, too, actually. Yeah, that she was at the thing with a lot of obvious other personalities there in Hollywood elite, I guess, were probably there. So yeah, why not? Yeah, the Ricky chimes in. Red was pretty good. Yeah, it was a good movie. I got to say, haven't seen it in a while, but I did see it a few years back, and it was worth the checking out. Yeah, that's for sure. Just to see the older lady Millen there, Marin, uh, wielding the guns was pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, that itself was worth the look see. So rent that if you get a chance. Definitely.
Loved it. It was I enjoyed the evening. Michelle Obama is gorgeous.
Yeah, and down to earth, I might add. Yeah,
Yeah.
just yeah,
Oh, one of the funnier
yeah,
one of the things they had was the president was talking about how he's aged in office, and it showed him, in 2008 with Michelle, and then a few years later, and you can see how gray he is. And a contemporary picture, and he's a skeleton in a
yeah,
suit, and Michelle hasn't changed. It was wonderful. It
yeah,
was really good. I'm going to annoy you people for a while. I need to turn a fan on.
yeah. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, Obama could stand to gain a couple pounds. I think there's no doubt about that. I think he's lost maybe too much weight. Not that he was anywhere near overweight to begin with, but I mean he can't lose any much more weight than
I don't think he's lost any weight.
I mean he's at
Ah,
the point where he's about at the
ah.
least he can weigh
Yeah.
for his height. So I mean come on, gets a little ridiculous after that. You start to look like what's her name there? That's it's always seems like she's weighs about 90 pounds. That what the hell is her name with I can't come up with it. But one of the better, I guess, boy toy actors, I guess, that she's married to. But she is always like rail thin too. But it's all good. I mean, like I say, just gotta you can't get too carried away. Man, oh man, you'd be weighing nothing. So yeah, Obama could eat a peanut butter sandwich now and then. It wouldn't probably hurt him.
Probably does eat peanut butter services.
Yeah, probably does. Why not? Uh, maybe hit the liquor cabinet once in a while.
No. Curse you. Online services.
Yeah, Ricky says she can't hear the fan.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's warming up a little
Well,
bit.
according to the
Not great
thermostat
shakes, but
on my air conditioner, it's 73 in my room. We're
okay.
73 right by. So,
Yeah, because it's what is it? It's 48 here, but it
well,
was
it's
up in the 50s,
51
like
here in New York
54,
City,
55
but
all day.
my room is always at least 20 degrees warmer than it is outside.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, it was 54, 55 today here, so it was
Yeah.
pretty nice.
I wasn't aware of
Shining
it, but
off the mountain.
apparently ABC was looking for the black people in the room while Wilmore was talking.
Oh, for the correspondence dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been two or three in the entire room, maybe. I don't know. With that crowd, you never know. Just don't know what kind of crowd you're going to get, but I would say for the most part, that's probably, when you're talking about a beltway crowd, you're probably talking pretty white.
Well, you're also talking about the non-beltway news media crowd that everybody's got their knickers, their
Yeah,
shorts in a twist
yeah,
because their fifis got hurt. But again, going back to comedy, You what is funny is punching up. That's why white people are so offended by a lot of the jokes that are being made because they are higher status.
Yeah.
I will
Or
say the Bill Cosby
portend to be.
jokes fell flat, but if you are a higher status, making fun of you is funny.
Yeah. That's what it's about, basically. Yeah.
Donald Trump's trick is that he's got people convinced that he's just like them, so he is punching up
Right.
when
Right.
he's punching at everybody else, but, you know.
Yeah. The Donald, I don't know. There's no cure for the Donald. I don't think. I don't. Just the way it is. Um, he's going to have this thing for people that are in the lower 40% or whatever, lower 45, 50%, whatever. And like Mittens, these guys that got the bucks just wondering, hey, why aren't you getting off your dead ass working 2 or 3 jobs to climb up that ladder? Well, you can't always do that. Tough enough sometimes just to work one job, let alone 2 or 3. And that's the way it goes. I mean, it's
Yeah.
in today's society. You know, most employers today don't even give you 30 hours a week full time.
Well, no, they don't. They won't give you
Too
32
low.
hours now qualifies as full-time employment,
Yeah. So I
which
mean,
is
that's what
why
they
you
give
will
you.
never get 32
You'll never
hours.
get close to 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get your 32 if you're lucky,
See,
and
this way well, actually 32 qualifies as full employment because then they don't have to pay you overtime if you have to work an extra day
right,
because you're not at 40 hours.
right, right.
So they can have you work, they can have you work, like 4 days,
Yep.
4 8-hour days, and that's your time. And then they can ask you to come in and work another 8 hours and you don't have to be paid overtime.
Right.
Or they just declare you management
Yeah, and
or an
just put
independent
give
contractor.
you salary, whatever, and that takes care of that. Forget about the 40 hours. Forget about the overtime. You're going to work number number of hours we tell you you're going to work, and or you're going to be fired basically. But you're going to be ended up working for like $5 an hour versus the $8 an hour you were making. But because you're working more hours, so you work more hours and less pay. That's all. Give you a
But
salary.
it's not the American way.
They'll give you a job title, call you
Yeah.
management, and give you a salary rather than hourly wage, which turns out to be less than an hourly wage that you were working at for the
Well,
most
by
part.
the time, well, you see what people fail to realize. I mean, you're now complaining that, you know, people who flip hamburgers want more money than somebody, in the military. Well, the thing is about, yes, the military, if you're in the military, if you're enlisted,
Yeah,
you do get paid less, but you do get
right.
your room and board. You do
Yes,
get
you
free
do.
medical.
Yep. And free food for the most part. If you eat at the mess hall every day, three meals a day, then that's free too. That doesn't cost
Could
you
be,
any money.
yeah. Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No question. I eat at least 2 meals there every day. Free.
but
And then
the,
usually
the,
go out
the,
and
the
maybe
whole thing is
spend a
too is
couple
that,
bucks on an actual real meal.
the people that are complaining about people doing food service being paid a wage that they can actually live on, you know,
Right.
um,
Right.
they are also probably just making minimum wage, and you're looking at how, or they're making more than that, and they're looking back when they were making 7.25 an hour or 2.50 an
Right.
hour, back in the '60s, I guess it was, when you
Yeah.
could live on minimum wage.
Oh yeah. Absolutely could. Yeah. Absolutely could. Yeah.
I mean, when I was working in
You
San
could pay the
Francisco,
rent on
yeah,
minimum wage.
I had a nice little studio apartment on Jones Street that I was able to pay for
Yep.
with part-time work at Bank of America.
There you go. There you go. Can't do that today.
No, I was paying $325 a month for a studio on Nob Hill, on Lower Nob Hill, on Jones Street,
There you go.
which
So
was
yeah,
Lower
there's
Nob Hill,
different
Upper
different
Tenderloin,
deals.
depending
Totally
on
different deals. Yeah.
where I was paycheck wise. But I didn't have
Yeah.
to deal with working another job. I could go out to dinner. I could go out and hang out, go to a piano bar.
Right.
I could go see shows, and I was fucking making minimum wage.
Yep. Yeah. I know.
I
It's
now
amazing.
live in New York City, and I'm lucky to be able to. I was lucky to be able to do the Manhattan Monologue Slam this last past Monday.
There you go.
Right now I'm not working because and my unemployment is going to be chewed up by overdraft fees.
Right.
So I will be going this week with no money because I work part time on a contract.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just like everybody else today. Like I say, you got to work about 8 part-time jobs just to make 40 hours a week.
Actually, you
Crazy.
only need to do two. I mean, I could work
Yeah.
another job during the week.
Yeah. But it's hard to do because you got to base your hours on the other job, and it just gets to be too crazy. They got if you got working different shifts, you can't work, this day or that day, or oh my god, really difficult to do, and they make it difficult on purpose, of course, so that you aren't making any money essentially working 2 or 3 jobs. You just can't balance your hours, and you still have to get a 4 or 5 hours sleep sometimes. So yeah, it's not easy to do, and I think that's going to be pretty much the way it's going to go for the next 20 years. If nothing changes all that rapidly, and I don't think they will. So people graduating from college, 4 year college degrees, and working at a fast food joint for
Yeah,
nine
well,
bucks
now
an
I don't
hour.
feel so bad about getting a degree in theater because even people with MBAs can't find work.
There you go. Yep.
Ba-dum, bum.
Yep. That is true. It doesn't matter if you got a 4 year degree.
Yeah.
You're probably still working at a big box retailer or a fast food place somewhere. There's just not that jobs just aren't there. Sadly.
Well, it's also the whole thing too is that because those of us in the theater, we are our own small business.
Yep.
We do our own marketing. We have and it's tough being running a small business. And I was at a workshop a couple weeks ago where
Very tough.
very rare thing for actors to be told to start thinking of ourselves as a business. Because the more we start thinking about ourselves as a business, the less likelihood of us being taken advantage of.
Yep.
And while it's tough, I see there's, all these little small businessmen, with their little wholesale, licenses, and they're all selling the same shit on the street corners. So
Right.
if the weather's good tomorrow, I'll take out some of my paintings and hopefully somebody will want to buy one of them.
Right.
And I can use my square, register my square, whatever.
Hell yeah. Got that. Flip that out for the credit card purchase. Yeah. Why not?
Because I can.
Indeed. All kinds of challenges in New York working for a living, as they say. So, been that way forever, I guess. So nothing changes here. 417-717-1454. How you get on here? That's how you get on this show.
Yeah, or you can
Uh,
Skype us at netroots.radio. Boom, bum, ba.
absolutely, absolutely. If you've got Skype, and I don't know why the hell you wouldn't have Skype because it's always a challenge. Just add us to your contacts, netroots.radio, and click that, and that gets you directly on the air without even blinking an eyelash. As as Ricky could tell you that herself because she's done the same thing. Uh, you know, blasted us through Skype, and before you know it, she's directly live and nationwide on here. So that's how that works, and it works pretty well, except on when it doesn't. Which give
Yeah.
me any second, you know, pull you off.
But of course.
But Skype being Skype, Skype hasn't changed in the 10 years, or well, we've
Actually,
only
it
been
has
using it
changed
for five.
since we started using it. It's gotten worse because
Yeah,
Microsoft bought it.
yeah, probably
I
since
don't think we
Microsoft
had issues
purchased
with
it.
the calls dropping prior to Microsoft getting their grubby little hands into it.
Right, right. Before that, it wasn't too bad. Now it's
And before then, it was all me on my having issues with my computer.
yeah. Yeah, but I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to this week when I got 5 minutes. I'm going to try to put it on the other computer. That way, I ain't got to monkey
Yeah.
around with too many
Well,
freaking
like I said,
tabs.
I've got you patched in. For those that don't know how my stuff is set up, I have a Yamaha USB, a Yamaha mixer, and I have my cell phone or sometimes my tablet patched into that. So
Yeah,
I'm not running Skype off of either the
the other machine.
the machine I'm using to run my broadcast software
I like
or the
it.
machine that I'm
I like
using
it.
to do all of my research on.
Yeah, I'm going to try the
So
same as well. Not
there's
just
no like latency or lag.
yeah, and it might also help out with drops too. I don't know.
Yeah,
It may or may
you
not.
might want, yeah.
Yeah, so we get a better connection
I
kind of
mean, this
deal.
is sort of like called what they call like a mix minus one.
Yeah,
And there's various ways of doing it, and you can find all those really cool
yeah, I like the way the guy did it there.
tutorials on YouTube about mix minus ones for podcasting.
Yeah,
But it's
pretty neat
essentially
stuff.
using a separate device for your calls.
Yep, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Some guys figure this out.
And then I have a
Thank you, gods.
using my television as a monitor so I can actually see shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Always a
Instead of
good
using
thing.
the 9 inch or 10 inch
This is my 19
tablet kind of
inch
thing.
because I've got because the machine I'm running my broadcast software on has a screen that is like actually my tablet screen is larger
Right. Right.
and it's much easier to see to monitor everything on the TV screen. Thank you HDMI.
Yeah.
I will say one thing for
Oh,
the
that's
low
nice.
end laptop that I'm using.
Yeah.
I'm that I'm using for the broadcast software. All the components in the body are up to date, so it has HDMI.
Yeah. It's nice. It
Yeah,
is. And Spreaker, we use Spreaker all the
yeah,
time.
and
Shout
when
out
I'm
to all
running
the
my
kids over there.
afternoon show, I can simulcast to
Spreaker is just a great
Spreaker.com and through
platform.
Netroots Radio. And for this show, I'm streaming while Wink is streaming over Netroots Radio. I'm streaming to Spreaker, so
Yeah.
there's always an archive.
Oh, yeah.
And that way too, if we have a guest and we want to go long, we can continue talking on
Yep.
Spreaker by the
Yep.
simulcast on Spreaker.
Indeed. Indeed. Good stuff. Um, Not much happening this week here in New York 21. It's been kind of a quiet week, but I'm hoping to get things shaken up here next week. So
Well,
election wise, at least. So we'll see what happens.
nothing's going to go on. I mean, all the
Yeah.
excitement is over until
Yeah.
the
Until
general election,
yeah.
when the
Until
big issue
November.
is going to be getting people to actually do the down ticket races.
Yeah. Oh, that should be no problem. I'm hoping. We'll find out, but we'll find out soon enough. And I'm hoping that's not a bad deal. So get the same crew out as we did in
Oh
fourth year.
yeah.
Good.
Speaking of that, yesterday in Burlingame, California, Trump was forced to enter via the illegal servants entrance. They had to stop on an overpass. They had to climb over. He had to climb over the wall, the barrier, then go down a
Right.
flight of stairs, walk through a field. He said he felt like he was crossing the border, and then he had to go in through the servants entrance at the Hyatt
At the Hyatt. Yeah.
because of all the protesters.
Right. Oh, it's fun. I'm glad somebody's out there doing something. So regardless which candidate they're protesting, obviously more Trump than anybody else. But it's good to see it. At least the kids are getting out there, getting a little fresh air.
Well, the
And
only
not just
problem is that there was some violence there, and I think it would have had a bit more impact if there had been people with American flags there along with the Mexican flags.
yeah, yeah,
Because in a lot of people's minds watching this, it just firmly proved Trump's point.
yeah. There's that too. All that. Here we are, and we're not going anywhere.
Well, no, that they're not American.
Yeah, right.
See, and the right wing has hijacked the American flag to the point that you go, if you are not a right winger, well, in Portland for the Bundy trial, people who are not supporting the Bundys are like harassed, and if they're seen with an American flag, because it's only for right wingers.
Right, right. Pretty comical. It is. Man, I don't know. It's getting down to where progressives is there's like 3 or 4 of us left in the progressive wing of the party, and you go, holy cow, man, what the hell are we gonna do here?
Well, there
But
was an excellent
it
point
is
made
what
in
it
a
is.
tweet, or that if all the progressive Democrats had turned out for the midterms,
Yeah, well, yeah, we wouldn't have this problem really
No,
if we
and there's
had.
another problem is that when Rachel Maddow was talking about this, and she was saying she did not know why Democratic turnout was so low, and that's because of the voter suppression.
Yeah, oh yeah, a lot of it was due to that. There's no question,
Most
no
of it
doubt
was due
about
to voter suppression, especially when you take a look at the percentage of Republicans that have turned out to vote. It's about voter suppression. They don't have to do anything more than they've already done because the turnouts have been so low in the primaries. But I think Karl Rove's going to help a Democrat win.
that. That could be. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, he doesn't. The Kochs certainly don't want either one of them in power.
Right,
You know,
right.
I mean,
They're
they'll have their
both,
issues with
you know,
Bernie or Hillary, but
you
at least they know that the Democrats are sane.
yeah, they may not
Trump
like
would
the
turn the Middle
policies, but
East.
at least they're
Trump
sane.
will
Yeah,
turn the Middle East to glass.
yeah. Yeah,
And Putin can spot an imbecile. Putin's has got both Cruz and Trump red.
right, right. Yeah, it's. I don't think. Yeah, somehow they're going to lose this election one way or the other, whether it's the help of Karl Rove or maybe the Koch brothers, but yeah, that's why I said the Democrats have no problem this year winning the top prize, so to speak. But the down ballot is where the work is going to have to get out there and get the work done down ballot, no question. But I think the presidency is pretty much in the bag. I don't know how we lose that unless we totally fall asleep at the switch. But
Well, all them Bernie bros who ain't gonna vote for Trump because they don't like Hillary.
yeah, there's going to be a few of those. I think I don't know how many, but there are going to be some of those that's going to
Some
hold their
because those are
they
because
screw it on up.
The Bernie bros are the ones that
Yeah,
are the same ones that don't like the idea of women in gaming.
right, right,
You know,
right.
the Bernie bros are the beta males.
Yeah,
They're what on they're the ones who have swallowed the red pill.
right,
And like the rich, good-looking guy who shot up all those people because women wouldn't fuck him, and he couldn't
right.
understand why.
Exactly right.
Maybe
Yep.
it's because you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, more than likely.
You can be. I mean, if you're more in love with yourself than with anybody else, and you don't understand why people don't love you
Right, right.
because you have, I know guys that get girls and they have no social skills whatsoever, but they're nice guys. They're just awkward. They just don't have the skills.
Right.
But they still, yeah, but they don't think, that it's their right. And I know guys who think like that, and it's like, and some of them are on, you know, Facebook and shit.
Yeah.
I've had to virtually slam down a couple of guys on Facebook who thought because I talked with them, I wanted, it's like, no, I don't. You don't call me babe. You don't start planning our fucking future.
Right, right, right.
I tell you about me and you don't tell me anything about you except I like her or what. So you got kids. What about your kids? It doesn't talk about, it's like if you won't talk to me about your kids and you're looking for, there's something amiss there.
Yeah.
And so I've decided that if you're only friends with one person who's my friend, I'm not friending you because you want something. You've
Yeah.
only friended that person to get to somebody else.
Right.
And before I do check, friend you, I will talk with that person to see if she knows you.
Yeah.
And I
See
will
what's
bet that
going
this
on.
person friended somebody else that she knew, and so she thought, oh,
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like high school all over again. It's just
but it's creepier.
yeah, yeah. So there's much of that. Pretty much why I don't really get all that involved in Facebook, but because there is a lot of that going on, obviously. And it gets to be a pain in the ass, really, more than anything. But get on there for some of it, and some of the news and activities on there is pretty good. But you do have to wade through all the nonsense sometimes to get to the news and stuff you want. Four what's up? What's up? 1454. How you do that? Uh, got some yard work in today. I actually a decent enough day where I could get some yard work in, and I actually got some in. Even got some lawn mowed, got some of that done. It was just great to get that. Man, oh man. Otherwise, another week gone by, and it looking like the jungle out there. So that was nice. I said I finally get the freaking lawnmower going. Get that going.
Yeah.
I want to get this what do you call it? Cordless lawnmower, but it's like $300, but so it's gonna be another year or two. But but nice. It is
Jesus
nice. I
Christ,
asked
you're
for I
not
asked
buying
for
a
one.
tiny house.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit out of there's other priorities before that. So
But of
that might
course.
be a couple of years down the road, but I plan on getting it eventually. One of those where it's a little bit quieter
Yeah.
and get the job done without freaking waking up the entire freaking neighborhood.
Been thinking about looking at on HD Home and Garden TV about tiny house hunting.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
like that
actually
idea too.
considering that because I like the idea of having my own space. I mean,
Yep.
I'm already living in about 200 square feet.
Right.
So I've already downsized that, but it would be nice to have like my own little, you know,
Yeah. What?
personal space. And some of the places were pretty creepy, were pretty 19th century homestead. Like one place it was like really, really nice, except it didn't have a bathroom.
Yeah. Not good.
And where the poop bucket was in the same room as as the kitchen,
Yeah. Not good. Yeah.
with nothing to separate it from anywhere else, which I
Right.
guess is fine if you're living by yourself.
I guess. Yeah.
But it didn't even have any bathing facilities,
Right.
So it's kind of like,
Got to do that too.
no. Don't like the idea of pooping right where you're going to be eating. It's no.
Not a good idea. But yeah, I like the little house kind of thing. Is not a bad idea either. If you can find property for next to nothing to park it on, maybe get another a quarter acre somewhere for next to nothing. Be all set. Because they take up no room. You don't need a whole lot
Oh
of room.
yeah. Oh, let's look. Fox is having conniptions over the disrespectful final comment Wilmore said to the president.
Oh, with the flipping them off or whatever.
No, that was Don Lemon. He said, blah, blah. Yo, Barry, you did it, mate.
Yeah. I'm I'm surprised.
So a
I'm
white
sure
person
that
was all up in arms about it because they can't
I'm
use the
sure that
word.
Obama got it, so I wouldn't
Of course he
really worry
did.
too much. Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Who flipped them off? I thought there was somebody that flipped off the president tonight, but maybe not.
Somebody responding to the Fox tweeter. Obama has been
Oh,
called
okay.
many names by racist white people since he came into office, but Larry Wilmore calling him "my" is an issue. Oh,
Always something. Yeah,
which probably means when it is replayed on C-SPAN, that will be bleeped. They will bleep it to make it sound even worse.
exactly.
Next year, someone else will be standing in this very spot. It's anyone's guess as to who she will be. Barack Obama.
Ricky says Canada's having some issues with those tiny houses, and people are uh, posting some sort of a ban on them. They're trying to ban them.
Well, here in some
Tiny
places they're
houses.
treated the same as RVs.
Yeah, pretty
But
much.
Fresno, California, has just passed a law to change that.
Okay. Yeah.
They
So
should be more
yeah,
treated like mobile homes
yeah. Either
than
way, I
RVs.
always say either function is about right. So what they need is about the same space as a mobile home as far as the
Depends
square
on the
footage.
size of them. Depends on the size. Um,
If you had a 12 by 50 lot, then you could get your 10 by 10 house on it with no
yeah,
problem at all.
but
Still have
tiny houses are usually no bigger than 400
yeah,
square feet.
right. Yeah, 12 by 12, whatever. Whatever it is. Yeah. But 12 by 12 is plenty. You can sleep up in the loft or whatever, so you don't even
Well,
have
it
to
depends
take
on the
anything.
type. Yeah, 400 square. Um,
Oh yeah, that's
like
plenty.
a
12
thousand,
by 20 or
like
10 by
if
20
it's
or
larger
something
than
like
a
that.
1,000 square feet, then some people
Yep.
don't consider then it from the tiny house fact.
You kind of like a mobile home size, maybe half the size of a mobile
Well,
home.
some of them are like the size of a mobile home,
Yeah.
and they're kind of like planted where they are. Um,
You can get them for like 10 grand, something like that. Not that much
you can
money.
get them all the way up to for more than that, depending on amenities and what style you
Yeah,
want.
whatever you put in them. Yeah.
Yeah, so like one, I like the when I was the show program I was watching, one was I mean it was gorgeous. For me it was Victorian, bright painted lady, gorgeous.
Yep.
And it had solar panels, so the price went up because
Right.
it could run off because it didn't need electrical hookups.
Right.
Depending on does your tiny home have a full size does it have full size appliances? A lot
Yeah.
of these places don't have stoves or ovens or full size refrigerator or even half size refrigerators. They
Right.
got the little dorm room things.
Yeah. Right. Which you can get by
Some
on.
have washer
You kind
dryers.
of get
One,
by on if you
some
shop
have
every day.
washer dryer hookups. Some have full baths. Depends on what you're looking for, what you want.
Right. Heck yeah. Oh, here's a 12 by 12 for like under $6,000, $5,500 for a 12 by 12, which is small, but you can get in it and, for 6 grand. That ain't bad. Not bad at all. Uh, Good way to go. If you're on a budget looking for a place to stay, there you go. You get your tiny house and get your probably put it right on where you park your mobile homes. You put it on one of those lots. Be all set.
It's either Prospector's Cabin
Yeah, pretty
from
much.
Tiny House. It's build it yourself.
Yep. Get the plans, build it yourself. I guess you can do that too
Yeah,
because
but
it
you
doesn't
have to have
like
you all.
take
But
much.
when you do that, you have to have the land for it.
Yep. They just won't drop it off just anywhere. I'm sure. Yep. I like it. Got about a minute left.
We
Got to get
do.
out of here. We're back
Oh
next
no.
Saturday night, of course. But you know, that's how that works. Sunday, of course, got Gibber tomorrow night
Of
from
course.
midnight to 2 a.m. So I stay in, chit chat for that. As we probably go over the latest stuff that's going on with the primaries before we get into July and get into Philadelphia. Although Cleveland is probably going to be the more fun one of the bunch of the two. Cleveland will probably be the best one.
Cleveland, I think, because of the right wingers that are going to be there to help protect Donald Trump,
That'll be wall to wall, wall to wall
is
nonsense.
going to be bloody because it's open. It's an open carry state.
Yep.
Plus, you have right wing
With that,
truckers
we'll
that
get
are
out of here. We'll
claiming
see you.
that they're going to blockade the streets around the
Right.
convention center. Anyway, good night, all.
Yep. We'll see everybody next week. Thank you.